And then they have given you their different point of view. They even have backup for their why they are saying what this you're saying A should be A. No, I disagree. B. The answer is B. It's not A. And they argue a different way. That's why, like I'm saying, my truth cannot be his truth in some aspect.
That's a really messed up thing, because imagine if you find someone that is not saying okay, tatumia hiyo tamia social media, someone that is addicted to graping people, and their truth is, when I see someone that I like and I want them, I have to get them.
Don't go there.
You get? So someone says, okay, mimi nikikuona na nakutaka na lazima nikupate, and that is my truth. And then you useme hapana, that is not.
Is that the kind of truth we're
the question
about?
is, no, we are talking about if truth is relative, then it means one truth has to supersede another truth. So now the question is, if we cannot have the whole community come together and say, this is the truth, that means the strong, their truth is what will supersede the ones that are.
Imagine if we believed every truth is the truth.
That's why every truth is not the truth.
Yes, every truth is not the
Lakini
truth.
sasa wewe umesema your truth is
Ndio maana tunasema
relativity means different.
So
I'm using love first.
Okay, let's put it in this way. Your man maybe ako financially down.
By down na kiasi gani? How down?
Okay, well, let's say umemshinda maybe na anakusatisfy kwa bed. So utakubali kuchip in kufinance ndio wewe upate haja yako ya sex.
Okay, anajituma. In this case ama ametulia tu
Umesikia story
ama anawekwa kama huyu wajuzi wa kukula kofi na
bouncer. Lakini huyo
ni hivyo, ni hiyo situation. Kama ni hiyo situation mimi haiwezi. Ati sasa mimi nakufanya alafu tena
huyo nikoshua la kusetia vizuri huyo anakuweka poa huyo.
Haiwezi.
Lakini si anakuweka poa.
Si unataka mwenye anakuweka poa, wewe unataka sex.
Sex is everywhere. I can even kwani I'm just masturbation. You can do it even by yourself. Sio lazima there's another person there. I'm just saying,
but masturbation ni mbaya. Masturbation ni mbaya. Cause na feel unajisatisfy, uta need msee mwingine kukusatisfy.
Why will you need someone? Ni lazima you need people. There's a reason you are created an independent person. You have your own heart, you have your own mind, you have your own body. Because independence.
But God, a woman is woman.
Mungu hata before, like si alikuwa amecreate Adam. But alikuja kucreate Eve baadaye for companionship, not for dependence.
But ndio Adam
companionship. Very different
ukisema
terms.
Companionship ni deep. Adam akiwa peke yake, I feel kulikuwa na hizi aspect za things to do with sex azikukua.
But si sasa akakreatiwa Eve, and then the aspect of procreation came
sasa
because
Eve anataka kujifurahisha peke yake.
Where is even kujifurahisha peke yake coming from?
No, sio ndio umesema kwa masturbation ni mbaya, si mbaya.
Mimi nimesema si mbaya.
Lakini
sasa yana
Eve anataka kujifurahisha peke yake.
Mimi ndo Eve kwa hii situation.
No,
ama tunaongelea
Eve wa Bible.
Eve wa Bible si alicreatiwa ndio nini Adam.
Okay, sasa tuongelee hii situation. Wewe umesema masturbation si mbaya. So yeye anakuuliza utajifurahisha peke yako. Kuna mtu mahali anaweza kuwa kufurahisha.
Kwani nyinyi happiness zenu zina depend on other people? Unajua naonanga ile mtu anasema ati my boyfriend is my happiness, my wife is my happiness, and I'm like, what do you mean they are your happiness? They just complement your happiness. You as a person, you should be able to be happy on your own. You should be able to do hizo things on your own. You cannot give what you don't have.
So in terms of sex, utajifanya aje you alone? In terms of sex, utajisatisfy, utajimake happy on your own in terms of sex.
Sino tumeongelea masturbation. Kwani you don't know how masturbation works? Do I need to go into theory? Yeah?
Okay, let me give my opinion. My opinion is the only reason people masturbate is because they lack something inside and they are seeking to control something they can't.
Like
psychologically, before hata niingilie spiritually, the reason as to why people, do you know masturbation is not because you want to masturbate, it's because there's a dopamine effect. There's an instant gratification you're seeking. It's like having sex. But now that feeling that you get after it. That is what most people want. And then the moment someone starts doing it over and over again, then it's like kusmoke weed ama kuchapa cocaine. Your feeling unapatanga after. It's never about that masturbation. It's about to say either una feel, and most times una feeling either when something bad has happened, or maybe you're in a situation that you feel, hey, siwezi control this situation, and you want to feel like you want to control your life. So the moment you're doing that, then you're feeling like, okay, now I have control over my life. Or even sometimes it's men. Mi nimekana mademo ameniambia, they felt like in their family, parents wow, especially the fathers, have been controlling them all their life. So when they are doing it and they're looking at other men, they feel like they're controlling the men. You get?
What are you talking about?
Like in that specific moment when you're doing it, when you're masturbating, you're feeling like you're controlling that man that you're seeing somewhere. You get? Not at his juu yako hapi. Unless where yako una...
Kwani do we see men in it? I don't know about my fellow ladies when you are doing it. You can tell me.
I'm not saying every lady. I'm just saying what different scenarios that trigger.
What triggers you in the sexual urge? Najua once you start engaging,
but it doesn't just happen. It starts from somewhere. That sexual urge doesn't just come
from somewhere.
That thing is triggered from somewhere.
Either watch movie, either hizo movies are, you know.
Bold of you to assume.
You know, but
anyway,
no, mimi nasema inaweza kuwa either hiyo movie, inaweza kuwa uko na stress, inaweza kuwa uko kwa situation yenye una feel hizi control chunga hiyo simu yako. Inaweza kuwa uko disappointed and you want to feel like you have control over your life, because looking at it psychologically, when you release dopamine inakufanyanga una feel vizuri because it's a feel good hormone.
Yeah.
Una get? Na sometimes your stress cortisol yenye iko kwa brain sasa una feel uko stressed, na that feel good hormone sasa itakufanya feel relieved. To some other people inakuanga worse. Some people might relieve themselves to masturbation. Some people might relieve themselves to cutting themselves. Some people it might be just depression, ama kwenda kukunywa, ama sometimes kuna wengine to them it's so bad, wanatakanga tu kuona mtu mwingine ana feel vibaya. So they'll do juu chini tu afanye tu siku yako iko vibaya, na at least I feel mimi siko mbaya. You get? So I would never say it's something that is okay, but the society has made it look like it is okay.
In fact, in a break marriages.
See hata story ya society. Like, okay, Mimi, according to, when I researched, the first time I was curious about the masturbation thing. Like, unajua, nini ku have sex with another person, there are many other risks that come along.
Nakuget.
So
you're preventing.
Like,
you're
preventing
once you masturbate, kwanza for female masturbation, unajua kuna wanawake wenye wame have sex for several years, but they've never had an orgasm.
So you want to
experience. They don't even know their body. They don't know what makes them feel good. Ndo maana like unaona there are some men, those men who are emotionally intelligent, those who care about my feelings also as much as they care. Kuna wanaume wenye they just want to go finish and then they are okay.
Then they leave.
Yeah, but there are those men who will talk you through it, who will make sure you get to the destination before they get to the destination. You feel me? Yeah, so there are those kinds of men. But most of the women have not experienced those types of men. Hata mtu mwenye alikuja kutengeneza hizi STs, sex toys, like aku kwa mtu mjinga. Like it is something.
Huyo alisaidiwa na shetani. Huyo hata sitamhurumia huyo. Huyo alisema by the I'm breaking all marriages.
Hapana, lakini in all honesty, for Mimi, okay, I don't know about men because I've never been a man. I'm not going to be a man, so I'm not going to talk about men.
But
Mimi as a female, let me talk about female. Like masturbation, limited masturbation, regulated masturbation.
Anyway,
I'm just saying, no,
there's
I'm
a way
just
you
saying,
can regulate
so
it.
yeah, so that yeah,
So there's a way you can have control
because
over
we've said there's the addiction part. That is the side effect, I know. Yeah, the addiction part, because once you become an addict, you will not be like quite interested to do it with someone. You know, I can do it for myself. Why will I need someone? So there is that aspect of addiction, which some don't mind because I don't know. Yeah, because maybe they wameteseka na wanaume sana, so they don't want to do it with them anymore. So I'm just saying regulated masturbation among women Like it helps you discover your body. There are those parts of your body you discover, so that hata wakati you're going to do it, once you're asked nikikushika wapi tunasikia vizuri, you know.
Mimi naona shida
you don't start guessing at my ear.
Social media imecorrupt akili za watu, yangu included,
Unajua shida
yako
ni
included, like sisi wote nikwambia kwa nini imefika mahali umepatiwa hiyo exposure. By the way wewe unakuanga na pahali fulani unafika orgasm. Sasa unafaa kutafuta hiyo kitu.
Something that exists in social media.
Adam akizaliwa Mungu akicreate Adam Eva kuja.
Kwa Bible inaongelea story vile wali have sex au
inaongelelea. Ni kwa mimi nasema aje? Inasema and Adam knew Eve.
And that's the only thing they give.
Sasa sina maana nakwambia. Sasa
wanasema ilikuwa position gani?
Sasa
hawajasema details.
Shida ni unataka Biblia ikupatie hizo details zote sasa.
Kama alimtalk through it awase.
But shida tu ni moja. Okay. Siwezi ongelelea patia. I wish kungekuwa na wase wenye wanaongelea hizi vitu kwa church kwa kabla msea oe. Like wenye wanasema by the way kwa madem unaongeleshwa na mama boy, like wanasema okay, so kwa mare, because I know Arabs do this, they actually prepare their females before they get married. Wanawambia this is how you should please your man and this is how you do this and this and this. And even in the African context, by the way, like kitambo, before you are married, the mothers would sit, the aunties would sit the females down kabla uolewe, wanakueleza hizi vitu. I don't know kama siku hizi inafanyikanga. Siku hizi Kenya natufundisha ni hizi masites zetu.
Wadogo ndo wanajua kulika wao.
Bana unapata mtu ako class. Sisi tunafundishanga mashule. Mtu ako class, ako grade what? Grade 5, grade 6, kuanzia 5, 6, 7 and then JSS. Those people already know these things. Like they know the left, right and center. So you wonder if someone is that young and they've already been exposed, because si mzazi wake amemwonyesha, ni internet ama mabeshti zake wakiwa kwa class wenye wako exposed, maybe wazazi wao wako na pesa mingi wananunulianga tu magadgets na hawajawapatia restrictions, wameenda wakaziona wakakuja wakaonyeshana, na hivyo ndo venye wase wanapotea kabla msi hata afike JSS, before you're even 13 years old. Wewe kabla ufike hii age yenye tumefika. Sasa imagine sasa afadhali wewe. Sasa huyu atakuwa amejaribu mara ngapi? Kabla wewe mwenye anafaa kumuoa amuoe. Just think about afadhali hata sisi with all these things that we've been corrupted with. Sasa imagine hizo vitu zote zenye wewe unaongelelea. Mtu mwenye ako grade 5, mtu hii anazijua zote.
But mimi najua point yangu ya masturbation ni mbaya cause once mtu anajua kujimake up ni kama kuswitch on light. Once mtu anajua kuswitch on light, atawai kunid
alafu pia shida ni
atawai kunid switch.
Nikiongezea hiyo shida ni moja. Every single body part that is in your body is for a specific purpose. The moment you use it for another purpose, you are abusing your body.
How is that another purpose?
It's physical abuse. That is the definition of it. Physical abuse is when you use a specific part of your body for something that it was not originally intended for. Let me explain in a graphical way. Wait, kama ni mtoto please enda ulale kidogo.
Masturbation is sex. It's only that it's sex with yourself. Masturbation only comes by when, especially for for guys and men. Let's say you're not using the
toys.
The toys. You're not abbreviate ST. You're not using the STs. So now, since you're not using the STs, you're using your hands. Your hands were never made to do that. Even for the guys, our hands were never made to. Our hands were made to eat, to create. Sindio? To do what God has created us to do, like creativity.
So when doing even when doing the other one now with a person, you don't use your hands anyway.
Let me tell you this. The reason as to why
how do you remove your clothes?
Kenya mimi nakushow kutoa manguo yes. But wewe Kenya unasema Kenya mimi nakushow ndo tusikue graphic sana. Kenya nakwambia ni body parts zako ni for something. The moment you take them out of context, hapo sasa ninafika place unatumika kwa bonnet pia. Msi anasema unapata na mwanaume anasema pia yeye ana masturbate, lakini sasa yeye atumii huku mbele, anataka kutumia huku nyuma. Unapata ana dem the same thing. Because I know females who've actually told me, by the way, they like it from huku nyuma. So unapata, because they don't want men, they don't want to get it. Do you know actually gays, HIV in originity sana kwa gays? Do you know that?
Nasikia na wewe.
Inianzianga huko sana. Ndio sasa ika-transfer ikakuja. So
I don't know, so I won't comment.
Hii maneno ingine yenye naweza kuambia ni the moment you start abusing your body. to you and to me, na mimi nakwambia hivi juu pia mimi nimejipata hapo. Si ati nakwambia ati juu sasa ati mimi ni Holy Joe, sijai okay, sisemi stories za nyuma.
Lakini
naongelea masturbation.
Ngoja.
Masturbation from this context, as in Kenya mimi najua, the only end result of masturbation is death. How? For men, you spill the seed outside. In the Bible, there's a person that actually had sex with was it a sister or someone? I'm not even sure.
Ilikuwa bibi ya brother.
And then he spilled outside. What did God do to him? The dude died. Why? Because alisema how umekata kuendelesha lineage ya brother yako. And because of this, utadedi. That thing is the seed that we carry is life. Sindio? Unajua hiyo? Obviously. The moment we spill that seed on the ground, something happens. And it's the same for you guys. There's always something that happens spiritually when we do that. Na hiyo ndo kenye watu wengi watakanji kusema.
So what do you say about condoms?
What about condoms?
See, because you're spilling it outside, it's only that you're not doing it literally.
No, condoms, mimi kwangu, that's my msinisema sijui, my opinion. My opinion is, I don't advocate now. Si kitambo. Now. Kitambo nilikuwa nafanya because unajua obviously hautaki kushikisha mimba. Saa hii kenye mimi naweza kukuambia ni I don't advocate for condoms because they are the shortcut to doing the things that married people do without getting the repercussions that married people get.
So people don't use condoms in marriage?
Sijasema hivyo.
Why are you saying they are shortcuts?
Biblically, condoms never existed. Do you know why
technology?
Okay.
Was there technology there?
What is the use of condoms?
See, for sexual protection.
Why?
Unwanted pregnancies.
Diseases, STIs, STDs,
Why would you
HIV,
protect yourself from your wife? Unless they are cheating.
No. Honor. They use, kwa marriage, it's used as a family planning method.
But why?
Because the other family planning methods, maybe it has not worked for this woman. Maybe there are very many hormonal ones. Maybe ameenda kajaribu
that is not biblical.
Mimi
nakwambia kweli.
Wewe wachana na biblical. Wachana na biblical.
Okay, reality kwa ground.
Tuko hapa reality, tuko kwa hii society. Let's talk reality. Achana na biblical kila saa. Kila kitu biblical.
Unacheki the African context. Before the British people colonized us, and wase wa US wakakuja Africa. Did condoms exist in the African cultures?
No.
How did people actually regulate themselves not to get pregnant?
Safe days.
Safe days. This thing is not. It's in the Bible.
Okay, some say that right now technology iko and it may affect mambo na food.
Food kiaje tena?
Food in affect pia
health.
In affect health. Iki affect health ina interfere na body, na hormones.
Okay, so but madem wengi wanajuanga safe days zenyu.
No.
Inaruka because of food.
You are very ignorant.
Inaruka, unajua hiyo.
Consume inaruka.
No, let me tell you.
Awilo, wacha tuongele. Sisi tunasema I'm ignorant. Let's speak these things scientifically and philosophically. Before the people colonized us, condoms hazikuwa Africa. How did people survive? Ama unataka kuniambia tunikuwa tumereplicate kwa jaza?
Si huko.
No.
It's just a question. Technology imekuja, safer ways have come along.
The only reason you would want not to tackle that question is because condoms have been an advantage for people to continue cheating and sleeping with people without the repercussions of the after effects of sex.
Okay, what do you suggest happens so that, like, since
I have the best
vitu kama I know you're going to say abstinence.
No, I have the best answer. You want me to give you the best answer?
Let me ask. Let me re-ask my question. So what do you suggest they use, since at the end of the day tulitumwa, yes, we inaitwa procreate. Kulikuwa na procreation in the Bible. But ukiangalia the literal world we live in right now, population increase is not going proportionally with resource increase, because like population in a increase na resources, the more population na increase, resources na decrease, because kumekuwa na misuse before, na there is still misuse up to now. Many people are not civically educated about how to maintain the resources, so like they are not able to sustain. Ndo sahi unaona like there is a lot of unemployment, there is forests zimedidimia siku hizi hata sio rahisi usikie. The rivers that used to flow sahi, most of them are filled with waste nini because population increase. So these things, the condoms, the family planning methods, as much as they have the side effect, they came for a purpose.
But it was not for procreation.
It's not for procreation.
It was to abstain,
regulate the procreation.
No, it was to regulate people getting sexually transmitted diseases. Ndio maana hata ukisikianga kwa advertisements, they never
Mbona
say
zinaitwa
chukua
family
hii,
planning and not STD planning?
Condom is not for family planning.
It can be used as a family planning method. It is a family planning method.
The main agenda for condoms was not for family planning.
But it is a family planning method.
Ndio usipate ugonjwa.
But it is a family planning method.
It can
which
be.
is
It can
which
be.
is very viable because like most of the others, the hormonal ones, zina interfere na the system ya mwanamke. So like
so now
condoms
the question I have for you,
and the non-hormonal
because you're
one.
saying the other ones zina interfere na hormones. Kwa nini usichukue hizo?
Why should I want to interfere with my hormones?
Then why should
because
you?
like
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing
It's
now.
the same thing with condoms. The
Condoms
same thing.
don't interfere with my hormones.
But jisikize vizuri. Unasema hizi zenye okay, naonanga zinakuanga hapa zingine
na zingine ni tembe.
Okay,
yeah, they are very many.
Since they interfere with your hormones, you've seen a risk with them, si ndio? Hizi zingine pia ziko na risk.
What is the risk of a condom? What the worst that can happen is can break.
Hizi risk zake ni kidogo sana. So unaona, wacha nichukue
hizi. You take something with the minimal.
Both of them are not right.
It's not a matter of being right or wrong. It's a matter of being effective and safe for yourself.
For what?
For yourself.
For what
at the end of the day, it's for yourself.
So you are promoting
I'm not promoting
Musherati.
No, that's why I've said they are used in marriage. Mi sijaongelea in fornication. I've just said in
marriages.
Yeah, because I'm not talking about fornication.
For example,
I've just said in marriage.
There are some people who use condoms. There's an organization I know, Ikona Hospital, and these people, their main agenda is to distribute condom to people, and their main tenea wanakuwa na mbili, kudistribute condom na kudunga wasichana. Hii ni shindano ya hapa. In fact, maboys hata ukionekana wanakupeanga tu box moja. Unakuuliza, do you have condom? Unapewa tu box moja.
Promoting safe sex.
Aya, na kupiga wasichana nini? Hebu niambie, in 20 years to come in that area, sinu sherati watu napiga hapo. Wewe tell me ukishanipea condom, na upige dem hapo, umeniambia nini?
Umeniambia lala na udem bila story. Hatakuwa na story.
Lakini tukue realistic honestly. Achaneni na the moral compass sana. Let's just be realistic. At the end of the day, just because you know fornication is wrong doesn't mean it will stop others from practicing it.
It's the same
just
thing,
because the Bible is preaching. The Bible may exist for very many years. BCs. We've come after BCs. But are we doing the fornication or not?
We are doing.
And the more we are going, the more it's happening. So we can't be ignorant with the fact that you should not do, so we are not going to put precautions on those who are doing.
No. We are not saying that people should not get the precautions. Kama na tusemi ati condoms are just
sasa nyinyi mnasema ati
no.
tusemi
as just this is what you should understand. We are not saying the family planning has not helped people. We are not saying the condoms have not helped. Hizi vitu hazijasaidia. Mi na kuna watu najua hizi vitu zimesaidia. Sijasema ati hazijasaidia. You get? The thing I'm just saying is just because something is useful does not mean it is right.
Yeah, and that's why I've said put the moral compass kando.
You can't. Do you know the reason as to why you can't put the moral compass kando? It's because wewe mwenyewe hata ukiongelelea story ya hizi, you've already put moral compass because unasema zinakuumiza. So
you see moral compass.
If something is hurting, let's speak intellectually. If something is hurting you, why is it hurting you? Why is there pain? Where moral is, pain and pleasure is. If you remove pain and pleasure, morality is not there.
Morality is the good, bad, wrong, or right.
What is that? Where the bad is, there is pain. Where bad is, there is pain. Where good is, there is pleasure.
Guys, I'll wind up the show.
I get your point, but what I'm just saying is amfai kuisema hivyo like ina sound kama like it's not something that is existing with us. It is something that is existing with us.
It is.
So, and these are strategies zenye zimewekwa to try to combat what has already happened. Si mnajua about like risk. Hata Mungu akitupa kujua hizi risks. Hata angekuwa najua angekuwa ameshawawekea like
this is why we are saying sin ndio kenye imeleta hizi vitu. Dhambi si God.
Na dhambi ilikuja duniani hiyo time na kulikuwa na a lot of time to regulate it. But anyway, skia what I'm saying. Hata ukienda kuanza anything, hata vile Awila ameanza hii podcast. Kuna risks zenye ziko unforeseen. Zenye like hizi kwa ameplania sahi kwa kufanya budget yake. So like hizi ni some of the risks zenye hata kama people are introduced to sex in the beginning, there are some risks that were unforeseen. From the very beginning, HIV haikukuja at the very first time a person was created. Haiku exist kwa Bible. Si imekuja na binadamu already wako hapa.
Actually it was made in
so
a
it was made here. So hiyo ni HIV. Na the easiest STDs ni pia zenye zimekuja baadaye. These are things you could not have kujua huko kitambo.
Yeah.
That's why unaona hiyo kitambo there was no immorality as there is now. Do you know why there is more immorality right now?
Either kulikuwa na venye tu iko documented.
But I think before tuende, I think hizi HIV na nini ni a result of sin. Na result of sin ilikuwa kwa Bible. Kuna mali
the sexual sin.
Kuna kizidi sana.
Not even the sexual sin, because HIV was made in a lab. Ni people actually made this thing. This thing wasn't ati sijui mwanaume moja ameamua. See, people's the best minds, like akili za watu, people ni kama COVID was also made in a lab. Unaona sasa mtu angekuja seme nasema ziko online, mnaweza google HIV ni toka wapi. HIV kutoka sijui kwa dem moja, na kwa sababu Adam na Eve siongekuwa na HIV. Kwa nini Adam na Eve hawakuwa na HIV? And there's a time in this world where HIV was only in a specific region, haikuwa dunia yote mzima. Hii time wasema wameanza kutravel everywhere, nika COVID pia inianzia China, haikuwa dunia yote until watu wakaanza kutravel, ikaanza kukua
unaona spreading.
Main nini hapo hivyo, ukisikia hizi vitu zote they are like hizi ma diseases zote is a result of sin. Human beings wakiamua nasema, by the way, tunataka kucontrol wase, sisi tunataka kufanya maneno ya polio, hizi vitu zenye zinajulikananga, COVID, hiyo HIV and these other STDs, they come about from people who sit down and actually say
control population.
Tunataka kureduce population. So wacha tufanye hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. And those people knew people love sex. And people's minds are crazy. So let's try this and this and this. So at the end of it, it's just sin. So ukicheki ni kama, for instance, I hope sitawachanganisha. Ukicheki story ya medicine, hizi dawa zenye tunakunyonga sahi. Hizi dawa zote zenye zimecreatiwa, azija creatiwa, there's a doctor that ako kwa WHO alitoka, alikuwa anasema every single medicine that has been created, not even created, has been made, has been manufactured, is not to heal you, is just to, your English imeenda msalani, to what? To relieve the pain or the symptoms, but not to get rid of the disease or the main cause. So no unapata madaktari wengi wamefanya hizi organizations kubwa, wanatoka hizo organizations wanakuja na waambia ati msikunywe diclofenac, msichape paracetamol, inawafanyia hivi. Apparently nimekuja kujua siku hizi antibiotics zinaweza kufanywa kwa colon cancer. How would I know that? Like unapata vitu zenye zina, like mtu anakupatia nika gari, unaenda kufix gari, inafunguliwa place fulani, wana spoil kitu fulani, wanakufixia yenye umesema, wanakugarantii utarudi hapo. Because if they not even heal, if they enable you to heal, you will not return. And that is what we need to understand when we are feeding off of the things that are in the world. Even story of food, the same thing. Mi Kenya najua, mi napendanga chapuka nonsense, but najua hii kitu ni poison. Ugali ni poison.
Ugali ni legit.
Utaavoid kukula hiyo chakula mwende huko hizo.
Sina maana nakwambia napenda. Like it's a challenge for me. Na mimi mabeshi zangu wanajuanga. By the way,
but ugali si legit.
Pia ugali si poa. Actually ugali ni created for ng'ombe.
Nini ya ng'ombe?
Maize flour was created for cows, for cattle.
Hiyo najuanga, hata horse.
Hata?
Horse.
Sasa
In fact
ukisikia-
US maize flour
So
ni
mnataka
chakula yao.
kukula-
actually
Mkiba-
huko hivyo kwa
mkibashu
binadamu
gani?
it's
Mtaka tukule?
illegal to actually take in Europe there are specific countries that have banned maize flour because wanasema kwa kukula ya wasi like ukipatikana kwa nyumba yako unalisha watoto wako hiyo unaweza shikwa. How is it that countries zingine zina bani kitu alafu sisi ndo tunaletewa
Tunaichapa serious.
ni kama even
Ni
this,
staple food.
na nasema hizi vitu zenye sasa seed oils fresh fry hizi zenye tumezoea hizi chip kama yenye kwa dress yako zinakwanga hapo hivyo kwa nini sunflower oil unachiki hizi ma seed oils zote zinatuua apparently hata wheat si mbaya sana. Hii oil yenye tunatumianga ni worse than hizi vitu zote, lakini sasa sisi hatuwezi ambiwa ukweli cause the industry inataka na wana collaborate food industry wanasema wapatie vitu zenye zitafanya wako addicted wakwe wagonjwa wakuje huku kwetu, wakikuja huku kwetu tunawatuma kwa madawa, wakikuja kwa madawa tunawapeleka huku kwingine. So it's a cycle. So everything that we use, even the phones that we use, najiuliza tu what is the main intention of this manufacturer?
Lakini simliona hata huyu mwenye wako anatumia ati atumii mafuta sijui anakula tu mboga kama sungura, si alikufa tu.
Ni sawa. So nataka kusema sasa okay, lakini
sasa
difference yako na yeye ni wewe God anaweza kuwa kona purpose bigi kushinda hiyo.
Yeah. But at least
Alafu
yako
wewe
precautions.
instead of wewe ukue cautious, life yako itaisha mapema because wewe mwenyewe ndio shorten life yako other than Kenya God alikuwa amekupangia.
Okay guys, I think we are out of time. We love to wind it but
Lakini hatusemi watu wa kama unataka kukula
wewe
chibambe,
kula kitu
unaget?
utakula, unaweza
At
toka
the end
hapo
of it,
umesema ukuli
But na vile nilikuwa
chapati
nadhani ugali ni legit.
prevention is better than
uende
cure.
uanguke kwa
Nilikuwa
shimo
nadhani
huko.
ugali ni
Okay,
legit.
Kenya kuna daktari fulani alikuwa anasema ugali in moderation, like hebu fanya hivi. Sasa shida yetu ni hii, unachiki hii ugali fist yako hii.
Ongelesha
Hii
Waluya
fist.
direct.
Like ugali hii size of your fist. Hiyo ndio ugali iko sawa.
Sasa Waluya watasurvive.
actually,
Sio
I
maana
had-
nakwambia ni hard.
do you know recently I heard that si wanasemanga watu wenye wako na diabetics na sukari wanakulanga hiyo ugali ya brown and then I heard that hiyo ndio worst. Ati hiyo ndio worst.
Apparently
kitu mzuri.
mimi sikujua kuna kitu mzuri wewe.
Nini?
God's food. Maize is not God's food. Do you know that?
God's food ni gani?
Maize is not
Kumbe.
Eh, wacha.
Si
No, si kuna meat.
zile zenye zimesemwa Leviticus.
Okay, sikiza hii. Kuna fish, kuna meat, kuna fruits. Na nini nyingine?
Kwani meat pia
Na-
si
na-
iko na
na
side
greens.
effects?
Nimemention.
Greens, but meat ni God's creation.
Na kuna kwa hizi greens kuna some of them like spinach
Yes.
that have a lot of
Yes, kama
content
mboga,
ya
kama
magnesium.
sukuma, achana hata na spinach ni afadhali sukuma. Like kuna specific greens that are not suitable for human consumption.
But they have not been mentioned in the Bible.
No, obviously.
Si
Ndio
ulikuwa
maana
kila
science.
kitu ni biblical.
No.
Tuende biblical
Wana
yako.
science,
Turudi
yeah.
kwa biblical
Okay,
yako.
tukirudi kwa biblical because mimi niko proficient na Bible.
Tutarudi,
Ndio, na
tutakula.
usiseme nitoke hapo.
Tutakula kumbe
Na
kumbe.
usitoke hapo. Sasa
Si
kenye
ndio
nasema ni
termites?
ukiangalia David in the Old Testament, David alikula nini? Alikula meat na bado alikula
But kuna
bread.
pali wana mention
ilikuwa
wanakula
kwa nini?
bitter herbs.
Christ pia hata Israelites
Na
wakitaka
hizo bitter
kutoka.
herbs ni kani
Israelites
saga.
wakitoka
Because
lakini ni bitter herbs by the way. It was
Yes,
bitter
saga
herbs.
nayo ni bitter herbs,
Ukicheki Passover.
mto
Ukicheki Passover in the New Testament na venye wase walikuwa na dish, there are so many examples in
Hadi
the
bread
Bible
imekuwa mentioned.
that you don't bread. And then now this is the thing, bread yenye ilikuwa kwa Bible si bread yenye iko sahi.
Unleavened
Bread yenye
bread.
iko sahi no. Bread yenye iko sahi ni refined flour, refined. Hii bread yenye ni ya wadosi, okay, ya wadosi sahi, which is the natural one, whole wheat. Unaona sasa tuseme for instance, watu wana suggesting yetu ukitaka sembe usinunue ile yenye iko kwa packet. Endo chukua ile maize yenyewe usiage. You get at least hiyo iko na fiber. Lakini ingine ni refined. Is the same thing na hizi hata rice apparently. Rice hii yenye ni white si healthy, the brown one. Lakini at the end of it there's someone that still said all of this hata ugali brown ama white ama all of it still has glucose. You get? And if it has sugar bado kuna hizo side effects.
Lakini nadhani vile tumesema hakuna kitu mzuri. So the thing is
Kuna kitu mzuri. Difference tu ni zile zenye tunapenda. No, zile zenye tunapenda.
Najua unataka kusema God's food.
Spaghetti, rice, nini nyingine? Fries, bread, nini nyingine? Nini nyingine anajulikana?
Mapizza.
Pizza. Hizo vitu zenye sisi
fast
tunapenda. ndio sasa zenye ni mbaya.
Aya, relax. So tunajua kila kitu ni mzuri in moderation.
No.
Kila kitu ni mzuri in moderation. Okay, hizi chakula si as harmful in moderation. Let me say that. Juu umesema ugali si mzuri, but umesema ukikula hii feast size.
Moderation kwako ni?
Hiyo ndio hiyo moderation na kuonyesha.
Unaweza kula hii kitu mara 5. Unaweza chukua hii ukule hii pekee, ukimaliza uchukue nyingine kama hiyo ukule hiyo. So moderation kwako inamaanisha nini?
Ndio hiyo tunasema umekula hii feast moja kwa siku. Na vile mmesoma hata kwa science.
Feast moja utashiba bana.
Kuna proteins. Kuna proteins, kuna vitamins. At the end of the day, you need all these nutrients in your body for your body to function normally. So huwezi sema just because like sijui pia fruits, niliona some gym instructor kusema sijui pia fruits they have
actually pia fruits
too much sugar.
Mimi naona tukule God atatuguide.
Sasa mnataka tukule.
Okay, sasa hakuna venye unaweza sema ukule ndio God akuguide. Wacha God akuguide kenye utakula.
Acha tukule God atatuguide.
No. Wacha God akuguide
kenye utakula. Ndio God akuguide.
Usikule kwanza ndio God akuguide. Hiyo ni kama unakula sumu alafu unaambia God.
But at least ndedi kama nimeshiba.
Tutadedi si wote ama je.
Biblia pia inasema by the way hii dunia usi worry about many things, we dishi, jibambe na fear God. But Kenya nakwambia usishorten life yako for nothing. There's just
hakuna story ya kushorten. Kuna wenye hadi yao ikuanza. So si story ya wewe kushorten.
Hawezi tumia excuse.
But kuna msemo
kuna
msiana knowledge.
It's not an excuse.
Kuna msiana knowledge.
Ndio maana tuko hapa sasa.
So guys,
yangu ni nini?
Hii yako ni information, hii yako si knowledge.
I think we have to come for this next time.
Tumalize. Let's get one thing straight. Kenya mimi nakwambia si opinion yangu. Kenya mimi nakwambia is backed by science.
Si ndo nakwambia ni information.
No, si information, ni knowledge. What is knowledge?
What is knowledge by the way?
You know it yourself. You know what you're talking about. Information ni ile umeona you got that.
No.
It's information for me. I wouldn't consider it knowledge. Juu hata ndo uambiwe you are knowledgeable, umepitia primary, ukapitia high school, umegather hizi zote.
So unataka kuniambia mimi
you are able to filter the good information.
Guys, mimi na
maliza. Ni kama unasema before tumalize, ni kama unasema sasa venye tuko hapa saa hii mimi siwezi sema naweza ongeza vitu kasi sijajaribu. Mimi nimekwambia napenda chapa.
But unakula nyama.
Ugali. Yes.
Si unakula chapa.
The reality yenye nakwambia ni na si ati ni kama ati lazima tuchukue unaget at the end of it. The reality kwa ground ni at the end of it you should know the things that are going to prolong your life. The good things. And the things that are going to shorten your life. So at the end of it hata Biblia imesema life and death are in the power of your tongue. So wewe mwenyewe ndo uchague yenye utachukua na yenye utawacha. So it's not something ati tuna force wase. Lakini hatuwezi kaa hapa tuseme sasa hatutaambia wase ukweli. The reality yenye tunajua ni most people watasikia hii story na bado wataendelea kudishi. So wewe kwako utajua wewe uniambia na ukweli, wewe uniambia na ukweli on your side. Story ya condom tumeongelelea. Tumesema Kenya inafaa. Atusemi watu watawacha kutumia. Unaget? Story hizi vitu zingine zenye tumeongelea stories za relationship umepatia na advice mob sana. Kuna mtu hata atatambue Kenya umesema lakini kwake wewe umeongea na amesikia. So at the end of it is just portraying or conveying the communication and then you decide if you want to continue or you decide if you want to stop.
Yeah, that's where the information part comes in. You filter what you want to absorb and filter out what you don't want to absorb. Yeah, so at the end of the day, at our love coaches, sijui, our gym instructors, at the end of the day, what they say is what is working for them. And what we know about life haina manual. Maisha yangu na yako haziwezi fanana. So what I decide to do that is working for me, the same way tulikuwa tunaambia huyu, because his parents' marriage, like he'll work in a particular way, doesn't mean if he applies the same rules in his marriage, it will work the same way. That's why like kila mtu ako na manual yake. Si ati hata hatuna manual. Kila mtu ako na personality yake, kila mtu ako na perspectives zako, kila mtu ako na wants and you don't want. Kila mtu ako na akili yako at the end of the day. So as much as you're gathering information from other people, you should not take anyone's opinion as the gospel truth.
Unasema life haina script.
Haina
script. Nilikuwa nataka kumuuliza tu sahi. So which means truth is relative to me.
Yeah, truth is relative.
Acha conversation ishe.
Hiyo conversation hapo.
This means everything that you have said is a lie. to me.
If you
Sindio?
perceive it that way,
So that means
is your opinion.
means when we say gravity exists and you come and say gravity doesn't exist and you jump from a tall building.
Alitest.
No.
Uja test
Like,
information yangu to attest if it's true or not. Iyo gravity
So, mtu mwingine
yake,
akikwambia
as much as alisema gravity iko, they tried it. Hata
So
tukienda
you
tukisomeshwa kwa hiyo sijui kwa science. Tulipelekwa nje hadi kurusha mawe kuconfirm the gravity thingy. Kama inaenda ikirudi.
What if someone doesn't agree na hiyo story ya mawe ama coin, asemi anataka
If you don't agree with someone's opinion, you come up with your own. Ndio maana like unaona hizi theories tunasoma kama hizi theories ndo maana si zimekamiwa up na a scientist. For example, mimi nafanya development studies, so there is this theory called development theory yenye wanasema there are two sets of countries, the less developed and the developed. Na wanasema the more developed countries ziko more developed because they use the resources from these less developed countries, like wana marginalize in a way to their advantage, wanawaacha wakiwa nini. But kuna aspect za hii development aspect yenye hawakuguza.
So
another theorist atakuja na criticism.
Okay, so
ana criticize theory ya huyu.
Kwa community ama kwa country venye umesema developed. How do people come to that conclusion since truth is relative? Ya Awilo na yangu ni two different truths. Yako ni truth yako ni truth yako. Then how do people come to the point of setting up laws and a constitution as a whole that people abide to? Because if you're in a vehicle and you overspeed and you knock or you hit someone, then the police come and then they tell you were overspeeding, and then useme mimi kivyangu sikukuwa na overspeed. Alafu hawa kwambie the law says this, alafu useme your law si truth yangu.
No, I have an answer for you. So like okay, what I was saying, hii information yenye nimepeana ndo ninasema truth is relative. But ukiongelea vitu kama hizo, kuna zile written laws na unwritten laws. Kuna ile kitu nyata umegrow, like you feel, you know, kama respecting elders, you know, wewe unatoka a very different community. Don't you do it? Like, do you believe in respecting your elders, right? I come from a different community. I believe in respect my elders. Hiyo haijaandikwa kwa any constitution. It's an unwritten law.
It's not unwritten, but it's a moral law.
It is a norm. Na it's a norm. Hizo norms ni unwritten laws. Yeah, so kuna the written ones na the unwritten. Like kama hiyo yenye unasema ya traffic na stealing, hiyo ya kuarestiwa. Hizo ni the written norms. So kuna the written ones na the unwritten ones. Kwa kila tradition, as you grow up, kuna zile vitu zenye you know they are morally right and morally wrong. Sijasema ati every truth. Nimesema like hii truth ya okay, kuna mtu mwenye anaweza kuja aseme hii yenye wanasema ati respecting elders, apeane perspective fulani. Si hata wewe before our atheist wakuje. Wanaitwa atheist ama atheist. Before atheists wakuje, you used to okay, maybe wewe haja kuchanganya kidogo, but you can grow, umeenda kanisa, you've believed in God, you know that is hiyo njia ndio uko tu nywe. But sasa umekaa na huyu mwenye akona a different point of view. And then they have given you their different point of view. They even have backup for their why they are saying what this you're saying A should be A. No, I disagree. B, the answer is B. It's not A. And they argue a different way. That's why, like I'm saying, my truth cannot be his truth in some aspect.
That's a really messed up thing, because imagine if you find someone that is not saying okay, tatumia hiyo tamia social media, someone that is addicted to graping people. And the truth is, when I see someone that I like and I want them, I have to get them. Don't go there. You get? So someone says, okay, mimi nikikuona na nakutaka na lazima nikupate, and that is my truth. And then you will say, hapana, that is not.
Is that the kind
so
of truth we are
the question
about?
is, no, we are talking about if truth is relative, then it means one truth has to supersede another truth. Sindio? So now the question is, if we cannot have the whole community come together and say, this is the truth, that means the strong, their truth is what will supersede the ones
But imagine if we believed every truth is the truth.
That's why every truth is not the truth.
Yes, every truth is not
Lakini
the truth.
sasa wewe umesema your truth is
Ndio maana tunasema
relativity means different.
Not, sio kwa zote. Ndio maana tumesema kuna zile at the end of the day morality ndio the compass tunatumia.
But morality is different because morality is based on truth.
Kuna good side of morality na kuna wrong morality. Si morality imesema the good, the bad, the wrong and the right.
Based on
meaning meaning like something. Kwanza kuna different nini, kuna ethical hizi zinaitwaje? Something in like ethically unaiona iko correct. But kuna vile it's not right at the same time.
Let's finish up. I
So
think we're going to come
tunasema,
back for another
like,
conversation.
at the end of the day, morality, ataka nilikuwa nimekwambia saa zile uweke morality kando, we are coming back to you. Yeah, at the end of the day, kuna vile, sasa hiyo ndio maana tunasema, hiyo aspect yako ya sijui ati niko na nini ati naangalia watu and I want to rape them, sijui nini. Is it morally right?
Ndio maana tunasema, like you see the moment you bring in morals, lazima kukuwe na a truth that defines these morals. If there is no absolute number, something that is not does not change. If there is no absolute truth that defines these morals, all the people that come with their own truths will be defining morals in their own way. Mimi nitakuja na truth yangu niseme moral yangu ni mimi kama Charlie napenda Charlie. Wewe kuja useme moral yako ni Charlie anafaa kuwa na dem. Mwingine akuja seme anapenda mtoto. Mwingine akuja seme, like you see all these situations and it's a fact even in the Muslim community if you know Sharia laws. Like unaona umefanya hivi kwa story ya watu hii. It happens right now in different countries where men are marrying small children. So now you see for you it's sad. Because to you inashika specific moral ina break your nini you get. But to them their truth is that. So if we can't come as the human race and say this is wrong, this is right, and then ama tuseme okay, nyinyi mtakaa na truth yenu, nyinyi mkana truth. Manze watu watauana.
Okay.
I think we have to wind it. But before that,
najua ijaisha lakini.
Yeah, ijaisha.
But I'm grateful for this conversation.
I think the conversation is so amazing. I think we have to plan for another day. Ama mnaonaje?
Definitely.
Yeah, cause hii kitu ni refu.
Kuna vitu mingi hata tutaongelea truth ni nini.
Tutaongelea truth ni nini.
Lazima.
So na time ishaenda. So I think we'll come back for it. But before that,
hata tukuongelea love, tuliongelea love.
Hatuongelea vitu kwanza kwa hiyo list yake hiyo kuna vitu vingi sana.
Hatuongelea love. Na hiyo ndio imeleta hapa hivi karibu kupasuka.
Hatuongelea.
Kwanza unajua tulitoka kwa love na tukaenda tu kwa
hata sisi tunaenda huko aje.
Tulifika kwa ili huyu ndiye
alileta hiyo ni then tukarudi huko.
This shows kuna content kwa hii conversation. So
I think we'll come back for another.
The next 3 ninis inaweza kuwa fiti sana.
Yeah. So but before that, watch to wind up in the next 5 minutes. But before we wind up, the current situation that right now iko kwa social media about you financing somebody's life, son-in-law ama nini. What do you think about that, Wise? According to you, kama the guy alifanya vizuri okay, abuse ni mbaya. Sindio? Of course lazima tukondem abuse sisi.
And gender based violence.
Yeah.
One thing nilikuwa najiuliza ni I do not support GBV.
No one does. No one should.
There are people who actually do, but I do not support GBV. And I am not for men hitting women. I'm against it. One thing that I can say is, like for that situation, I always try and look at both sides. Because unachikisa social media ime blow up na hiyo situation. What are people saying? Why is this dude there? Like umse analipiwa rent, analipiwa food, amenunuliwa gari nekwa mafuta na si yeye. Anything they want is given. So as a man, ye mwenyewe hakuna kazi especially apart from kulala tu na huo dem, hakuna kitu kingine anafanya kwa hiyo nyumba. Ndio maana situation kama hii kitokelezea, and sometimes kunaweza kuwa na frustration from the man because ana feel he's useless. So anaona the only way they can show their strength since they can't provide is to hit a woman. Unaget? And it happens for some men because when they feel like sina control of this situation, okay, wacha nimuonyeshe nguvu yangu, which I do not advocate for. That is something which is bad.
Thank you for saying that second part. I was judging you seriously.
That is something which is bad because at the end of it, it shows that man does not have the self-control or even the personal awareness, like the self-awareness to actually understand just because a situation has happened na kuna maybe the other side ameongea vibaya na amemdisrespect, that means you should hit a woman. You get? That's we should never advocate for that. Another thing I can add is this. What if it was the man being beaten? Would people speak up?
Okay, it wouldn't have been as loud, but
why?
Do like men mostly si tumeweka the society rules were done by men. Hizo mambo za gender roles zililetwa. Unadhani ni mwanamke alika akasema yeye anafaa kukaa jikoni, mwanaume anafaa
problems zote kwa society ni wanaume wameleta.
Actually,
wao walienda wakatengeneza hizo gender roles.
Hizo shida zote ni wanaume ndio wamejiletea.
Nyinyi ndio mlijiletea. Wakasema ati men should not cry. Ona sasa watoto sai men are dying in silence because how their forefathers said that they should not cry. Me by the I normalize you cry.
So you as a woman and you have seen
I advocate for both sides. Nikiona injustice for a man, it's still injustice. Injustice is injustice.
Okay, so do you think in that specific situation there is something, I'm not advocating for what happened, but do you think from when you look at both sides of the coin that something might have happened?
Nothing justifies that.
I don't say it justifies
nothing.
But now the question is this. I'm not saying this is what happened. I usually try and look at all scenarios.
Okay.
This is what I look at from this side of my scenario. Think about this scenario. You have been brought up from a very wealthy family and you know your dad is powerful. If he wants, by a snap of his finger, you can disappear. And as a daughter, I know my dad can do that. And then I know, actually, you're not doing anything in this house apart from sleeping with me. Everything that is being provided in my dad that is providing. So I even lose respect for you. So I can treat you however I feel like, knowing you will not do anything, because if you try and touch me, you are dead. Even now, when you look at social media examples, people talking... No, what we are saying is this. Ukiangalia social media,
sinikutaka maisha rahisi. He's just a lazy man.
We do not
because in your situation
I agree.
Kama scenario ni kama inapeana.
No.
Na tunasema na scenario yake.
The guy is lazy.
Yes.
Hatujui a lot.
How? Let me explain.
Kama scenario ni ya huyu wenye anasema huyo dem anamdisrespect na ameshamthreaten like anajua aizimfanyie anything babake anaweza. Is she forcing you to be there?
No, okay, so this is what I'm saying. Mimi Kenya nasema, I'm looking at both. I'm agreeing with you. The guy is lazy. Why?
Yes, he's lazy.
Why? Because intellectually speaking, if you are really, or you have a vision as a man, that situation to me would be God sent. Because umeoleka kwa a family that there is a billionaire. Mimi naenda tu kwa huyo namwambia, okay, father-in-law, I thank you for what you've been providing, but this is my vision. Please support me as a man so that I build up. Na since amekuwa akiwalipia hizi vitu zote zenye nawalipia,
tangulini wanaomba.
Hangekuwa hata na entertain kulipiwa rent.
The reason as to why a man reaches that point is because
tangulini mwanaume akaitisha usaidizi.
Kwa nini uko ndani hiyo marriage kama uko?
Ndio maana society imekuweka hivi.
Unajua for men it's war outside here. Unaona
what are you saying?
What do you mean for men? Kwani what are you saying?
Sasa
unajua vile ni ngumu kama wewe mwanaume uko hapo, father-in-law na control kila kitu. Ama father-in-law.
But father-in-law ameamua amekununulia gari, anakulipia.
Sasa mbona father-in-law anaamua?
Kuna zile zenye wewe kama wanaume ungekuwa umejiongea kwa inafanyika.
Already umeoa dem mwenye kwa wako fiti, si ndio? Dem kwa wako fiti. Father-in-law ataki at any point ataki mkono yako kufanya kitu, anataka yeye take care of daughter wake.
Ni sawa, yes, but now there is that side.
Kama mimi mwanaume unataka nifanye nini?
Nikupatie example.
Unajua kuna connections, ungekuwa umemwambia badala ya kunilipia fee, badala ya kunilipia rent, badala ya nini gari, empower me. Find me a job so that I can provide for my wife.
You want me to give you an example?
Nani?
Mr. Easy and the wife nimesahau jina yake. Is it Femi or Temi? I think it's Temi and Mr. Easy. The dad is a billionaire. The friend is Aliko Dangote. These people were in the ceremony. buda ya dem anasema by the way tulikuwa
naweza
tuna
sema
relax.
tujui a lot.
Wacha nikuelezee.
Hujui a lot
So
nini?
umesema ni nani anaweza kusaidia?
Mwanaume ushatoka kugombanishwa, umechapa mtoto wa wenyewe, alafu uko na audacity mkifika kwa gate tunamwambia ati gari steering ndio imeharibika ndo maana. What do you mean?
Check it. The reality is kwa ground, if a man has vision, provision lazima itakuwa. Shida tu mimi naona, okay, and venye umesema we do not know the whole side of the story. I agree. Lakini as a man, achana na the other side.
Achana na the other side of the story.
As a man, unless this man comes out and says kwa social media, manze najua mmekuwa mkisema
but unajua vile ndakuwa na feel incomplete when father in law na chip in.
Ungekusha feel incomplete from the very beginning. Watoto first from the word go
okay, what do you prefer? Do you prefer going to the father-in-law asking for help once or always asking for help?
I prefer not going to the father-in-law.
Then why get married to the woman and you can't provide?
Personally can provide ni venye
no, you can't.
Skia mfuko wangu ifiki father.
No, you
basi
can't.
niko na udem
Basi kwa nini unaitisha father? No, kwa nini unaambia father-in-law no akufikishie gari kama unaweza
pesa kutengeneza steering.
Tuko kwa ile scenario, tuko kwa scenario.
There's the other side where the father-in-law also said that nimekuwa nikiwa sort food, na pia there's the scenario where dem anikuja akauliza Charlie tutakula nini? Charlie akamwambia nini?
Hatujui a lot tuifungia hapo.
But as a man, let me tell you this.
Mwanaume mjinga.
Mimi niko kwa scenario nyingine tofauti.
As men, the reality is where there is lack of vision, people perish. Na mimi naona this is one of them.
Yes.
But as a man, father-in-law akikucontrol utakuwa na feel incomplete totally.
Mbona unaruhusiwa kucontrol wewe in the beginning?
Kidogo na niko na mtoto wake na si ombi usaidizi at all.
Yake kidogo na hizi tutengeneza
story. Are you hearing what you're saying?
Contradict.
Ona Eugene. Ingekuwa tuseme maybe tuseme school fees watoto maybe wanasoma international school. Tuseme that is father-in-law anashughulikia. So tuseme Eastering it was very wild. Umetoka huko ndani unakonfrontiwa for violating the girl and then wewe unaulizwa shida ya gari and you are confidently saying iko na shida ni gani?
You know, as a man when umesema
for that guy now ni mbaya. For that guy ni mbaya, but for that guy ni mbaya, but for a scenario yenye kuna father-in-law is very rich. Na father-in-law ataki.
Si father-in-law ni rich hapa.
Make them empower you. Okay. If you can't talk to him, let the daughter talk to him. You go empower yourself. One thing that comes with dependency, kuna manipulation, kuna hizo nini. Unaona the moment unategemea mtu. Unaona kama sisi developing countries tunategemea kina America for nini. Unaona unadhani wakikuja wanataka kuchimba hiyo oil yetu iko Turkana, do you ever say?
Don't.
China sasa tuko na deni yao kiasi gani? Unadhani China ikitaka kuja kufanya investments hata illegal in Kenya, do you think we will have a say? Because dependency comes with yo.
Okay. I think we have to wind it. But before we wind it, okay, my venye naiona, first of all, niko against gender-based violence. First of all, I don't support that man. That man is lazy. According to me. But second, pia tuangalie in this way. Sisi tumeona tu dem alisema alitishwa breakfast na akampiga. What about kama walikuwa tuna argument fulani? Na iangalie in a different way. Walikuwa tuna argument fulani tu, hata chana mambo ya breakfast. Then
ama labda breakfast hata ni uongo.
Boy akashinda kwa conversation. Then aliona tu ni kumbetray tu, acha tu nimte babangu. Then venye aliambia mom amenislap. Then wewe unajua tu wewe ni kafuku fulani ngulusumu fulani hauna pesa, unaona? Na unadependa kulipia rent, unaona? So utanyamaza hata ukisema ulimgonga, yani nilimgonga. Juu unajua tu vizuri nikikataa kesho
But there was evidence of the face. Okay. Anaweza sema alijisikia.
Before your camera hatujui kenye ilifanyika. Before your camera ilikuja.
But ulisikia wakisema it's not the first time.
Na feel ni inappropriate tunaongelelea kitu hatujui.
Yeah, so
I think hiyo side ikifika hapo hivyo since hatujui. The only focus tunataka focus nayo.
Hata scenarios ziko ngapi ati nini ilifanyika? Ati sijui labda udema ilifanya nini? There is no justification for violence. achana kusema ati what if
from both sides, si ndio?
From both sides. Hata mimi nikuwe nimeoa and then the man unprovoke. There is no justification of a provocation in
siku hizi since pia there are scenarios, not this one, there are other scenarios where you find, since women, or most women know, not all, most women know that the law is on their side when it comes to
I know, and it's very wrong. It's manipulation.
Gender-based violence, because gender-based violence here madembe Kenya.
So
what usually happens is they can actually even start the fights knowing that the man will not touch them. When the man touches them just like this, anajua huu ameenda jela.
So you make sure you don't touch
them.
So
wewe Kenya sasa inaweza kuuliza, do you advocate for when women beat men should not react, should not defend themselves?
You should go, no, you don't defend yourself, but make sure.
Why?
Usimchape juu.
What if someone is going to kill you? So you just sit there.
Wewe ndio umesema unajua sheria iko saidi yao. Why should you put yourself in a position to put yourself in trouble ukijua vizuri mkienda huko aliye awa manipulator aseme wewe ndio ulimpiga, itakuwa wewe ndio ulimpiga?
What if you have evidence?
If you have evidence, go with it to the police station. By the mimi kunje najua you men yourselves amtakangi kutalk about it. Mmesema men mmefunzwa you should not cry, sijui nini, mnafaa kukaa ngumu. Sasa like unaona by the police station, like when a man goes
actually
to report na hata si wanawake, those men police officers they mock you as a man. Umeenda kuriport na kwambia wewe mwanaume mbona unachapwa?
So actually men don't
which is a huge problem. The problem is
the society, the culture.
The society. So it should start with you, not the society. It should start with you. Well, if you start speaking about it, someone starts, the other person, nyinyi wanaume muungane yourselves. Unajua hata before the women before the women things came, see, violence ilikuwa tu like in a go scot free. People normalized. They thought like beating a woman is part of discipline. Sindio? But then again, these organizations came up. They started speaking up. And it caught fire. And then human rights came in. So the same way, if we start speaking about this,
it won't change.
Nani amesema?
Do you know why? Let me explain. The current system that we're living in right now, this is the last one. The current system we're living in right now, Sai, the current system is made to bring down the man.
Who made the system?
Obviously, Sisi.
Okay.
So the thing I'm saying is this.
Sisi, not the man.
Not Sisi, but the man. So the current system, people know, especially in different countries, people know this. If the man is sound and has a good character, the home is going to be unified. There's not going to be fights. Ataka kutakuwa na fights, atakuwa physical nini. And then they also know if the man is sound, the family structure, even the financial side, itakuwa fit. And it trickles up to the government and how the government leads. So they know if we manage to bring down the mentality of men and even their rights, tutafika mahali, men won't have the strength to stand up. And this is how colonization happens and countries take over countries. So unachikizi NGOs zinakuja zina bring up a lot of, if you see the NGOs that are supporting women, there are very many. And the NGOs, and the same NGOs are bringing down men. Because they know the moment we bring these people down, then we are able to take, and this is now the weird thing, the people that are bringing these men down are still men.
An example of them bringing them down? Jumimi, the ones feminism, I know for...
Feminism is the one thing.
Do you know
feminism
what feminism
from,
is?
No. Okay, this is the last one. The last one. Feminism, not from the context of... No. Let me explain. There are two different types of feminism. There's the actual...
They're like 4 or 5.
There's the original intention of the word feminism and masculinity. Na kuna hii sahi yenye watu wanasemanga. So it's the same thing as wewe ukisema masculinity, another man atakuangalia seme, what do you mean? You get? But there's the original intention of a female and a male. Femininity and masculinity. A male, masculine, a female, feminine. You get? There are those two different ninis. And there's the original intention of it. And the original intention of femininity is good, because it's still there, is good. but kuna watu wanaipervert. It's the same thing with masculinity. There is the original intention of masculinity, but people are perverting it. So the reason as to why I'm saying feminism is because that is what is used by very many organizations right now. And when most people talk about feminism, they have to include the male inside there.
See, because
Kenye mu sema, if you're speaking about masculinity, don't include females. If you're speaking about femininity, don't include males. So that you tackle females alone, you as a man, or masculinity as a man, how should you be a righteous man, right, standing with the law and have a character that is suitable for a family?
But do you know femininity, feminism inafaa ku address the bias the female are facing, and when the word bias comes in, it means this division between two parties, and this is the division between the rights, the resources, the way men are.
No, it's not even about that. It's just males and females.
Yeah.
Mimi kenye nasemanga John 10:10 tunamaliza. The devil's work is to steal, kill and destroy. Where death is, there is always division. Where life is, there is unity. So when you think about all these things, when you look at a situation, just ask yourself, the thing that we are speaking about now, at the end result, is the end result going to be unity? Or is the end result of this thing going to be division? If it's division, ask yourself, who benefits from us being divided? Because you know kenye muuliza kila mtu. Awasenye wanaongelelea masculinity na wasenye wanaongelelea femininity. I always ask, who is benefiting from us splitting or making us divided? Because it's never us.
But usiseme ati NGOs zenye zina promote female rights
sijamaliza hiyo.
Didimisha wanaume. You don't have evidence for that?
I have. Tulikuwa
for another conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for allowing yourself to be in this bench. Karibu sana. Na tukushukuru. Next time tutakam for another conversation. Ama namna gani?
Part 2.
Very nice. Very nice. For now, we have to wind it here. Thank you for being here, for watching us. Remember, the power of amazing conversation makes your tomorrow better.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Spawn Podcast with the amazing people here. Be blessed. Subscribe, like, and share. And follow. Sasa. Right.